Welcome back to News First on PNC. Home cultivation, lower fees, and an expansion of who is eligible to receive medical marijuana could all be possible if three bills introduced by Senator Tina Munoz-Barnes today are passed into law. PNC's Tim Blas-McHenry reports.
Senator Tina Munoz-Barnes introduced bills 343, 344, and 345 yesterday afternoon, completely restructuring the current medical marijuana program, which is yet to be implemented. Here's what the three bills do. Bill 345 officially rejects the proposed rules and regulations for Guam's medical marijuana program. Bill 344 introduces home cultivation, and Bill 343, quote, strengthens the provisions, end quote, of Guam's medical marijuana program. So what's the difference? When Senator Tina Munoz-Barnes held 4 public hearings for the proposed final draft rules and regulations, resident concerns began to mount. Some of the loudest opponents voiced concerns about lack of patient privacy, lack of home cultivation, high fees, and lack of conditions covered for medical cannabis. Most of these concerns are directly addressed in these bills. After concern about a lack of home cultivation, Senator Barnes introduced Bill 344, which adds a subarticle allowing for home cultivation. The bill allows for a home cultivator to grow up to 6 cannabis plants. The bill also states that landlords reserve the right to restrict cannabis cultivation on their property. Additionally, the bill forbids home cultivation sites within drug-free school zones. Then lack of patient privacy has also been somewhat addressed in Bill 343. A major change from the proposed final rules and regulations is that registry cards for qualifying patients is now optional. This means that a written recommendation shall be a valid endorsement for participation in the medical cannabis program. The fee structure is also significantly changed in the new bills. If passed, the structure will change to a 3-tiered fee structure, depending on the size of your operation. The current rules and regulation calls for $35,000 in fees regardless of the size of your grow operation. The new structure proposes lesser fees to 3 different types of operations. For example, a Type 1 cultivation license will cost around $8,000 with all the fees added up. This fee, however, is magnified if you're a commercial cultivation site operator, which carries slightly higher fees. Lastly, a major change from the current rules and regulations is the conditions that qualify for medical cannabis. Currently, Guam's list of conditions that qualify for medical cannabis lacks any mental conditions. If passed, Senator Barnes' bill would allow for any condition as deemed appropriate by the patient's practitioner instead of by the Director of Public Health. In an interview with PNC earlier this week, Senator Barnes said public hearings on the legislation would happen, quote, very soon. For PNC News, I'm Tim Blas-McHenry.